Having been a professional web developer now for around 5 years, I'm totally convinced that after you get that base level of technical knowledge, that your people skills are more important and more valuable than your technical skills. We need to take care of ourselves. The enemy of any developer is burnout. Web development is hard, and embrace the challenge. Find joy in the challenge. Hey there! My name is Taylor, and it's really good to see you today. Let's face it, web development is hard. It's really hard, and I want to talk about that a little bit. It's hard to know what to learn. It's hard to learn the concepts of programming. It's hard to get a job. It can be hard to keep a job, depending on what the economy is like. It can be hard to find freelance clients. The technology is always changing. There are always new libraries and frameworks, especially if you are a front-end developer. AI is coming. Will that take our jobs? And so today I want to talk about that a little bit, how we can embrace the challenge of web development, how recognizing that it's hard can actually help us find success and level up. I've been making a living working as a web developer full-time for going on 5 years now. And let me tell you, it's still really hard. I still put in long hours. I still have to learn new things. There are still lots of roadblocks and challenges to overcome on most of my long-term projects. There's a lot of instability in the industry right now. There's a lot of change with AI and all of the new technology coming out, a lot of just confusion. And of course, there are things that have gotten much better. I feel much more confident in myself and my ability to figure things out. I feel more stability with the job that I have. I now have connections and people that I can ask for help when I get stuck. And I have a lot more direction in general, which is something that I really love. But let me tell you, there are still days where I'm just pulling my hair out trying to figure things out. There are still days where I'm unsure of where I want to go and what kind of path I want to take for my career. And there are definitely still times when I feel like an imposter. I feel like I shouldn't be working on a certain project, or I'm working with someone who is just so much better than I am. But I am learning to embrace all of that. And that's part of the reason why I'm making these videos as well, because I could have used this video when I was getting started on my journey. And it's just, I think, recognizing how difficult coding and web development is really, really important. Long-time employees sometimes get laid off. Long-time freelancers sometimes go through droughts or periods where they can't find good clients. It happens to the best of us. It happens to all of us. And it's really difficult. If you are a part of the online or social media community, web development community at all, I'm sure you've seen tweets, memes, etc. of people dreaming of their soft retirement job or their career after tech. They want to become farmers, open up an ice cream shop, become carpenters, do really anything that doesn't have to do with technology. And it's pretty easy to see why. These can be stressful jobs. It's a stressful industry. It moves really fast. There are deadlines and high expectations. And it's very easy. Obviously, the grass is always greener on the other side. But it's easy to see why someone might dream of getting out of tech one day, especially during those difficult moments. So web development is hard. Let's face it. Let's recognize it. Let's embrace it. But it's supposed to be hard. It's a high-paying job because not just anyone can do it. It's a skilled job, meaning it does take a lot of training. Maybe you don't need a formal degree, but you really do need to have the skills if you want to become a high-paid tech worker or a high-paid programmer, web developer, whatever you want to call it. You might be saying, oh, it's too late, or AI is going to take our jobs, and I don't believe that for a second, at least not in our lifetimes, but it will change our jobs. And so now more than ever, we have the opportunity, whether you're starting from zero or you're an experienced developer, we have the opportunity to level up our skills, both our technical skills and our soft skills, and make a good living for ourselves. So I think the first thing that we should take away from this is that we should embrace the challenge. What gets you fired up? Is it building a website that gets a ton of views and promotes great events in your city? Is it building a web application? Is it getting a design from a designer and coding that out and seeing it in real life on different types of devices? What's fun for you? Find that challenge, solve problems you enjoy solving. How can you help the people in your life? How can you help the clients? Or how can you get a job that provides for your family, your loved ones, and make sure that you can retire one day? I think part of embracing the challenge is being willing to invest in yourself. You're trying to become a high earner. You're trying to get to that next level. You're trying to get that next job or that freelance contract that you've been wanting for a while. So invest in yourself. The longer I've been a web developer, the more I'm willing to pay for things like courses or even one-on-one lessons. If you believe in yourself, then go for it. If you have found a course where you understand, you connect with the instructor, you think the information is valuable, then go for it. Money spent on yourself and on your learning is totally worth it, especially because you want to be thinking bigger. This is a difficult thing. There's a lot of competition and you want to get to that next level. You want to be in demand. So don't think of it as an expense, but as an investment in yourself. Having been a professional web developer now for around 5 years, I'm totally convinced that after you get that base level of technical knowledge, of programming knowledge, whatever you want to call it, that your people skills are more important and more valuable than your technical skills. Now, I'm not saying that developers should eventually try to become managers, move into upper management, or become product owners, or anything like that. I hope to work on the technical side of things for a very, very long time. I really enjoy it. But what I am saying is that web developers get jobs. They're hired by other people. They have to work on teams. Networking can be a great asset if you are a programmer. And so flexing those muscles, exercising those muscles is extremely important. And honestly, if you are a beginner, your people skills are probably going to be what gets you a job before your technical skills do. A very, very big turning point for me when I was learning to code was when I started working with other people on projects. I remember I went to my first in-person WordPress meetup, and obviously there were developers there that had years of experience that were just way ahead of me, seemed way, way smarter than I felt at the time. And that was intimidating, of course. But then there were others who maybe didn't have even the technical skills that I did, that were already freelancing and finding clients and making a living through code and through building websites. And I was amazed. They were bringing value to their clients. They were out there networking, putting themselves out there, challenging themselves. And it was just really inspiring to see with my own two eyes that, hey, it is possible. There are people out there that need these services. There are companies out there that are looking to hire developers. And so it is possible. Another great thing I did was, after a while, I was able to find tutors online who could give me one-on-one classes. These were mostly PHP lessons, but I also took lots and lots of hours of JavaScript tutoring, one-on-one tutoring. And that was extremely helpful because they really showed me what kind of things I should pay attention to and what not to worry about. Maybe you don't have the money or the resources to pay for tutoring, and that's okay. But I'm sure you can find someone to pair program with once a week, or someone to even just to message back and forth with and keep you accountable on your learning journey. You can make friends online. If you see something cool that someone built, whether it's on CodePen or GitHub or whatever, just tell them you think it's cool. Network, work on those people skills, and in your daily life, practice making new friends, practice being interested in people. People want to work with nice people. They want to work and collaborate with people trying to build cool things. Clients want to work with people who are good communicators and can meet deadlines, or if they're not going to meet the deadlines, to let them know and to establish expectations. So if you're someone who has good people skills, maybe you are a good writer, a good communicator, you're good at making friends, don't underestimate that. Or even if you're just someone who's nice and kind, there is a lot of value in that. I truly believe that the soft skills are actually more important than the technical skills once you get past a certain level. And so don't forget about that. Spend the time networking. Get to know people who are doing similar things, whether it's online or in person. Collaborate with people. Clients want to work with freelancers who are good communicators, who can meet deadlines, and if they're not going to meet the deadlines, they'll let them know ahead of time. These kinds of things can take you really, really far in the web development, programming world, and so don't forget about them. Don't underestimate them. There's a ton of value in that. Next, because we recognize that web development is difficult and that it can be difficult to get in the industry or stay in the industry or level up in the industry, we need to take care of ourselves as programmers, as people who work at a desk. We need to take care of ourselves. The enemy of any developer is burnout. So I don't have them on right now, but you will never catch me working without my blue light glasses. I try to work from my makeshift standing desk for around an hour every day. I need to be better about that, so hold me accountable. It's important to exercise. It's important to get out of the house. It's important to have hobbies that don't involve a screen. Lately for me, that's been skateboarding. I used to do that as a kid, and I've just found a ton of joy in getting back to that. But it could be anything for you. You know what that is, or you know what that hobby that you've always thought about taking up is. And so again, invest in yourself. You might think, oh, I have to spend 16 hours a day coding until I get a job. Well, that's a recipe for burnout. Take care of yourself. Think about it like a marathon. Believe in yourself and believe in the fact that you can do it. You can get where you want to as a developer. And so that means that it's going to be a long career. You need hobbies outside of work. You can't just be sitting in your chair for 16 hours a day for years and years and years. You need to look at it like a marathon and not a sprint. There are definitely times to work hard. There are seasons for that. But make sure that that is not the norm and that you're taking care of yourself and you're living in a healthy life outside of code, because in the long run, that's going to make you a better developer and a better person to work with. I've worked with a lot of just frustrated developers, and let me tell you, those are not the people who tend to get the promotions. So again, recognize that this is hard. Web development is hard, and embrace the challenge. Find joy in the challenge. Some days I am just exhausted at the end of the workday, and it feels great. It feels really great to be solving problems and helping people, both my clients and my coworkers. It feels awesome to collaborate on projects. And for me, there's nothing better than being tired after a long day of work because I spent that brain power solving problems, challenges that I enjoy. Again, don't be afraid to invest in yourself and follow your interests. While I work, I'm very much still in the WordPress world. I'm building themes, plugins, custom blocks, etc. But I'm also, lately, I've found an interest in data science. So I'm only just beginning on this journey, but I'm working on my SQL skills, learning a little bit of Python, and just kind of watching videos to see what to learn and how to do it. Don't be afraid to follow those interests, and you never know where they might take you. And lastly, work on those people skills because you really won't regret it. You'll find people to help you level up. You'll find people who might be able to connect you with job opportunities. And you'll also just be able to complain about different frameworks and libraries with them. If you found this video helpful, or if you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them down below. I'll definitely respond. I'm getting back to making videos. I'm working on overcoming the imposter syndrome that I myself have. But I've got a lot of content. I want to talk about the things that I'm working on, the types of WordPress projects I work on, and the different technologies I'm excited about. what I'm learning when it comes to all this new AI stuff. And like I said, the data science as well. So stick around. If you have any questions for me or videos that you'd like to see, leave those down below as well, and I'll do my best to get to them. Thanks so much. Again, I'm Taylor, and I'm very happy to see you today.